Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, the candle in my hand trembled, its weak light shining on the four walls covered with scratches like lines of despair. The cold air from the room blew out, making my skin numb. I took a few more steps, trying to see where the voice came from. On the dusty, wooden floor, there appeared tiny footprints, like those of a child. Those footprints spread out wet streaks, as if they had just stepped out of a dark puddle. I followed them, my palms drenched in sweat. The footprints stopped in front of the wall, and immediately I heard a giggle coming from that very spot. I reached out to touch it, and the entire cold wall shook, then split open into a dark crack. From that crack, a foul stench rushed straight into my nose, making me feel nauseous and suffocated. I stumbled back, the candle almost falling. In the darkness of the crack, a small hand reached out. Skinny, grey skin, long, sharp nails. It scraped against the wooden floor, making a horrible screeching sound. I stood there, my whole body trembling. The hand hesitated and then withdrew, replaced by a pair of bright eyes opening from the darkness, staring straight at me. I choked, feeling like the blood in my veins froze. I screamed, rushed out of the room, and slammed the door shut. But the most terrifying thing was that, even though I had locked it, the childish laughter still echoed throughout the hallway, seeping into every crack in the house. It was like those strange animated horror stories playing from an old, broken radio that never turned off. I hid in the living room, pulled out my suitcase, intending to pack my things and leave that night. But when I opened the suitcase, my clothes were gone. Instead, there were yellowed photos. I picked them up with trembling hands. The photos were of strangers, men, women, children, all taken in this very house, and all gradually disappearing from decade to decade. In the last photo, I was stunned to see myself standing in the locked room. My phone vibrated. The screen was pitch black, showing only one line: your turn. I dropped the phone, my heart about to explode. Immediately after, the lights in the room flickered on, then went out, leaving absolute darkness. In the dead silence, I could clearly hear someone running around the house. A ghostly laugh mixed with a whisper close to my ear, "Don't hide anymore." I sat down on the floor, holding my head, feeling my consciousness being gnawed at. I wondered if I was dreaming, but every detail, the smell, the sound, the cold was terrifyingly real. This was no longer a nightmare. This was a trap set. And I was the prey. At that moment, the window opened, and a cold wind rushed in, blowing the photo paper. One flew into the air and stuck to my face. When I took it down, I was stunned. It was a picture of me sitting right in this living room, in the same position, with the same panicked eyes. But in the picture, behind me was a smiling child. I turned around, but there was no one. There was only my own shadow on the wall, distorted, abnormally long. The shadow slowly raised its head, moved differently than I did, then raised its hand to wave. I was cold all over and collapsed to the floor. I knew I had awakened something that should never have woken up. Continued in episode 5.